Hello, my name is Fred Vent and I'm currently filling in for Tom as Tom is off to Mexico, probably drinking tequila shots as we speak. But anyway, I want to talk to you about a very important topic, a topic that concerns us all, which is of course the new way of payment, central bank digital currencies. Now, many people already know a little bit about central bank digital currencies, but what is often not known is what is exactly the difference between the normal way of digital payment with your bank card and the central bank digital currency way of payment. There's a big difference and I'm gonna explain it to you in this video. Let's watch.
The most crucial question you need to ask yourself is, how do banks transfer funds to one another? Let's say that this man, let's call him Tom, buys a present at this English store, Argos. He buys a present and pays 50 British pounds. He pays with his bank card. You would think that the money in the current system is then transferred straight to the other bank. You would be wrong. Instead, the fact that a transfer has occurred has now been electronically written down in a financial ledger. This ledger says the bank of Tom now has a debt with the bank of Argos for a total of 50 pounds. Even though that Tom can, for instance, see on his phone that the money has already left his bank account, in reality, this is not the case quite yet. The moment of actual money transfer is not during the moment of purchase. The moment of transfer happens only once every 24 hours. All of the transfers nationwide are transferred all at once on one big enormous pile, including Tom's relatively tiny payment of 50 pounds. The Bank of England is only the intermediary in this transfer. It does not know anything whatsoever about the specifics of each transfer. So the central bank does not know the time, location, the item purchased, etc. Although this works in slightly different ways with the central banks in the United States of America, the principle of this sort of payment remains sort of the same. The only two parties that know about the transaction are Tom and his own bank. Tom's own bank is not even allowed by law to share this information with the central banks under normal circumstances. It would of course be even better if Tom paid in cash. In that way, the purchase would be even more anonymous than it is in this case. Enough about the way payments are done in the current system. Let's now review the new way of payment with the central bank digital currencies. In short, CBDCs. They, by the way, also call this type of money smart money. Let's again quickly review Tom's £50 purchase in this new CBDC system of payment. Let's say he spends the money with his app on his phone. In this new system, there is a direct connection with the central bank. The central bank transfers the money in less than 1 second, so basically in real time, to the Bank of Argos. This happens only if the transfer is actually authorized by the central bank. This central bank also will electronically write down everything about the purchase. It, for instance, writes down what was purchased, the moment of purchase, the location of purchase, and all other possible details at a centralized location. We call this centralized location the blockchain of the central bank. This brand marking of payments has major advantages for central banks. It, for instance, means that if specific people are buying stuff at specific locations who are, for whatever reason, not allowed to do this according to the bank, the purchases simply will not get authorized. The all-knowing algorithm just will not allow it, period. The people who want to introduce the central bank digital currency way of payment are not kidding around. They are operating globally and they are introducing the central bank digital currency everywhere. Just take a look at this world map that shows you the exact locations where they have introduced or starting to introduce the CBDCs. 11 launched, 18 in pilot version, 32 in development, 39 research. People, this is a global plan and they are adamant of pushing this through. We don't actually have to speculate what they want to achieve. with introducing the CBDCs, we can listen to their own words themselves. I'm now going to show you a clip of Augustin Carstens. He is very high up in the banking world. He is head of the business for international settlements, and he will tell you exactly the role for CBDCs in the future. Let's watch.
In cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
So basically, transactions can and most probably will be rejected, heavily monitored and scrutinized by central banks and governments in this new system. Problems could arise for everybody, but of course mostly to people who might be, for instance, a bit critical of the government, spending or donating to causes that governments or banks do not approve of, people who spend money in unwanted locations, etc., etc., etc. The little financial privacy we had left will be gone forever, especially when cash also starts to disappear. Alright, back to Tom. What does this all mean for Tom personally? If the government or banks decide that people cannot leave their homes for whatever reason they might have, they could simply block any purchase Tom and millions of others like Tom might want to make a little further than 1 mile away from their registered location of their house. If Tom wants to buy something 2 miles or further away from his house, he will simply not be able to. This can easily be standardized. It literally is as easy as pressing enter. Poor Tom, standing there at Argos, not being able to pay. That is really sad for Tom, but it's also frighteningly realistic. For normal people, this new system has absolutely no significant benefits. The benefits are all for the central banks. Autonomy and freedom of payment will be lost in this new system.
Alright, you almost made it to the end of this video. Now, I think it's fair to say that when normal people like you and I have absolutely no benefit whatsoever in a new system, while bankers and big governments have everything to gain by it, it's usually not a good idea. So what I would hope is that we would all get a little bit more politically active against this plan. Just say no to this new form of payment. Furthermore, and I would really love that, is that we spread awareness about what central bank digital currency payments actually are and how much it is different from the normal bank payment. So share this video, like this video, do all this beautiful YouTube stuff to make sure that this video gets as many views as possible. One more thing before I go. I myself have a YouTube channel as well. It's called Release All Political Prisoners. Now, there are 1 million political prisoners worldwide locked up due to dictators and regimes that cannot take any criticism, and that just lock up these citizens to never be spoken of or heard of ever again. Now, we of course all know Julian Assange, but that's definitely just one of 999,999 others. And I want to raise awareness for all these people locked up everywhere, and that's why I started this channel. I started it about 3 to 4 weeks ago. It has 0 views and hardly any subscribers, so it would really help if you would go to that channel, maybe consider subscribing, maybe liking a few videos. That would really help. Anyway, I took up enough of your time as is. I want to thank Tom for letting me be on his channel and talk about CBDCs. Thank you, Tom. Tom and I have been besties, YouTube besties for many years. So yeah, Tom, you're a great guy. I love Coffee and Nuance, great channel. So thanks, Tom. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.
Snake.